G'day, how you going? Ian Applis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my channel. I want to teach you what you can paint in acrylic. I want to get the size of my canvas up on the screen before we get started, and also I want to take a step back and give you the colours running up the screen there. That way you can jot them down and paint along with me throughout this tutorial. Alright, beautiful painting coming up, so I want to bring you all the way over to the canvas and show you what I've got laid out here. So I've got my horizon line up a bit higher than halfway. Now this is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to make sense. Going to do some beautiful but simple effective trees that you beginners can do. You're not going to see much of the sky, just a little bit here, but in the reflection you'll see more of the sky because it's the angle you're looking at on this layout, okay? We're just going to have some beautiful trees, water and reflection. Now down on the palette I've got some soft titanium white and I've mixed up some retarder inside of that to keep it wet longer so it won't dry as fast. Always important to get your canvas primed up with this so your colours will merge along. It's very hard painting on a dry canvas. Now I just want to stroke it left and right and get it to a nice, neat, even, thin coat. Now I want to show you just how easy it is to get a beautiful sky colour on here. I've got my blues, a light and a darker colour, Prussian blue, and I've got cerulean blue. I've got some grey and I've got some magenta. These two here are going to make up the dirty, pollution-y colour in your sky you get on the horizon area there. Start with the blue. Now I want to come across the top here. Bring it down to the horizon, very pale-like. Straight across there. And the top half is nice, sunny blue sky. I'll crisscross it down to push it down a little bit more. There we go. Now picking up some more of the cerulean blue, I want to start at the bottom and then push it to the horizon line. I've got a pencil mark there so I know where my horizon area is. I want to get that to there. So we'll grab some Prussian blue and I just want to darken the bottom half of the sky in the water. Just mainly down the bottom here. So I'm just going to stamp it on so as I can control. So from the corners and then just kind of scurried up a little bit there from the corner and scurried up a little bit there, okay? Now I just want to waterfy that just to get it darker and let it fade up there. And also having your water darker at the bottom of the canvas towards the horizon line, it just kind of gives it that tilted realistic vibe. Now grabbing the grey on both sides of me putter on a brush and I want to tint it with some of this magenta just to get that kind of pale plum colour going in the grey there, and this will just go on the horizon line. Now a lot of the top, like I said, is going to be covered up, so I'm just going to put this in the bottom half. So I'll come from about here, push it on, pushing it right into there. Now it's just warm, it's just there. It's subtle. I can bring that top bit up as well. Now in the bottom, this is wet. It needs to be wet to put your clouds in. I'm not putting any clouds in the sky because it's only going to be here you're going to see the sky. I want to get some clouds in the bottom reflection. And I've got a fan brush here and I'm going to pick up some titanium white. And I just want to stamp some of this into the sky colour in the water there. Just say like maybe a smear there, and something smearing along here like there, and maybe something up there. That's it. Now grab yourself a blending brush and some towel to wipe it. Something that, paper towels are okay, but when you're rubbing like this the way I blend, you can pick up lint and put it into your painting, and you don't want to do that. I find these chuck towels are good. Now I just want to smear this into the water. So what I'm going to do is just smear it into the water, get it going, getting the turmoil, and if anything I want them lineal finished with the brush stroke. I don't want to finish it like that, I want to finish it with a going left and right. So I wipe that build up off. There's still a lot of paint there and I'm just gingerly getting this like that. This bit here will just turn into a glare of cloud. There we go there, very minimal. Wipe your brush. And then the same here. I don't want to destroy too much of the blue, so I'm trying to be careful of that. I don't want me shadows, me water to be too light. I'm just going to grab the clean part of this brush and just gently waterify that if I can. Just going across it like so. And we've just got a waterfied vibe right there. It's beautiful. Okay, down here I've got my tree colours. I've got perylene green, hooker's green, green oxide, and I've got a red gold, like an orange, a deep orange, and I've got a cadmium yellow medium. I want to get my dark colour mixed with the perylene and the hookers. I want to use both of those to create the depth, the blocking in stage of my trees. I've got my horizon line drawn in there. You can just see it. I didn't tell you before, this red grey colour, make sure you get a bit over here, because where the trees are just opening up in the sky, I still want to see a little bit of that red there. So just be sure to do that. And I'll start from the horizon line, because this is pretty thick. See, I don't want the edge of it like that. I want the edge of it to be open. So I'm just going to come along the horizon line all the way along. And then the tops, they're going to go right to the top. But the top here where I want to see the sky, I want to get it opened like that. My trees here. I'll come off the painting as well. And any bits that you're not covering up, you're just simple sky windows. Coming down there, coming up. Getting it nice and hairy out there, nice and hairy. And try and get them the shape of a tree. Get it right up there. And just blocking this in. I've dried my canvas. Don't push too heavy on your canvas putting this on, because that retarded paint that you put on there previous, even though you used a hairdryer to dry it, you could rip it up. Now I dried the top and I just patted on another coat so it's not too weak. Now what I'm going to do to make it very easy, it's a bit more time consuming, you can do it. Now these shadows are not going to, see how the top half, we've only got that much of the sky. We're not going to bring that down there like that, because we're looking down at it from a different angle. So what I want to do is simply just grab my pencil and work out the height I want to go to, which is about maybe there for that one. So pretty much just gingerly put him there and this one there. And it's just going to shape that tree that I wanted there, resembling a tree there. So a bit of this is all going to be upside down, and maybe another one there, just touching the bottom of the painting but leaving the bottom there. And I want to come around there and maybe just something about there coming off the painting. And now I can just come under here and I'll start from this one there. That's the height I want to go, and I want to create that shape with the shadows. And as I get to here, I can just thump it in thicker, but keeping it light out there. That's the length, the depth I want him to go. And he's about there. Getting him around, he's about there. You need these colours in there. Now I'm about there, I'll thump it in again. And I'm going to do this all the way along the horizon line here. Now you can simply dry that and give it another coat, but leaving the bottoms a lot hairy and open. So I've given it another coat. What I'm doing, I'm getting my filbert brush on its side, and you can see a little bit there. I'm just kind of giving some gentle scratches, just so I can control them. I don't want nothing too crazy like that. Just to show that this is a reflection with some distortion in it. Starting from the dark and just constantly dragging it down.
Damn, that's a loud plane, Ian. Can you hear that one?
Yeah, going northwest. If it's too heavy, see there, you can just see them ones through there. They're quite heavy. You don't want them like that. You want them scratchy like a comb. Now, giving that a dry, what we need to do is this area here is going to have some ground on it. So we've got the trees, we want the ground look like it's coming to us, and then obviously the reflections. So what I want to do is just simply put a bit of masking tape there. The top of the masking tape is just going to indicate the end of the ground. You want to come up a bit. There's my middle. I'm going to come up to about there. That's where I want my, let's call it the lawn, the ground. That's where I want it to roughly finish. I'm going to pull out some of the yellow oxide, yellow ochre, and hooker's green, just to mix up a dirty undergrowth colour. I want to make this little bit here darker, so I'm just going to simply grab some more hooker's green and make a darker version of that over here. Now simply, these are all trees and you want to create the illusion where they're coming over and you can look under them. This paint that I just mixed up now is all the distance that's going to be under them, so you can pretty much come all the way along. Let's leaving a lot of the darks there, just get some of this, filter up. I want to come to about that height for that tree there. I want some of this filtering up there between those two trees there. Once you've seen the video, you'll understand why I'm doing certain areas and the way I'm doing it. So that's why it pays to watch the whole video. I've just turned my light meter up so you can see the darkness here. Now these are going to come here. I'm just going to come down to pretty much nothing here. Maybe a bit of darkness off the edge there. Now this we don't have to put in the reflection because the angle we're looking at. Now I've analysed, I'm picking up some of the first colour, just so as I can kind of gingerly even that up because I want it pleasing to the eye. I don't want any blobs and dabs. So now I'm just going to pick up the lighter version of that colour from the very bottom and then tapering up to about halfway through that amount of paint there, okay? No higher than that, just filter it up coming from the bottom. But you're still leaving all the other darknesses that are there. And that tape's just helping you keep to that area.
Can we watch you pull that tape off, Ian?
Oh, I think you can. Now what you might want to do, just get your brush very dry, just kind of gingerly tease that hard taped line down just a little bit. Smearing that, but that tape, when I finish brushing this across here, you have a look, that tape has allowed that to be quite level. Now, so as we're not confusing ourselves with too many different colours, I'm just going to keep them the green oxide flavour and tint that value up here and there. So now I'm coming from the hooker's green mixed with the perylene, which was very dark. I'm using just the hooker's green to stamp in the final dark areas, allowing me to highlight it. So I know I want a lot of dark here, so I'm going to come from just off that and filter into there. There we go. Get some of this dark, pockets of dark. Just filtering into that colour you put there. And of course, because I want all of this, these trees are creating a shadow on this one, so I want to make sure I capture that. So here, and this is where you, in that dark blocked in mass, this is where you're creating the shapes and the visuals. Do get some of this in the reflections. Just kind of put it on there and scratch it through, leaving a lot of the dark so. You don't have to go and stamp it on the way you did at the top. Now come beyond that black. Pull it down just beyond that black. I'm grabbing the green oxide now. This is quite a muted, beautiful, solid colour. I've dried the canvas and I want to create these. Now I'm coming beyond the dark there, but where I said I want shadow there, I'm not going to put this colour. So try and get it as hairy as you can and find that right vibe of coming over your shadowy area there. And coming to our bottom of the tree, creating the bottom of the tree there. When we put our trunks in, it's just going to go wow. This one here is just going to have some more red tinge to it later. Come beyond there. So come and then work it off just so it'll be, those marks will be the way they should be. If they're like this, it's trying to show you the top of the trees there, but really it's way up out of shot. Leaving a lot of darks with this. Come beyond there. Where's this tree? This tree is pretty much about that wide. So that's the vibe of it I want to give. And if anything, the shadow is going to be casting on the right side of my trees here. This is a bigger tree, so you can have some darker shadowy pockets within it. Come there. Now see this bit here, we're going to fade into that, and that was put there simply because it's going to show the distance up the edge of this tree, up the ground there, and so on. And then we're going to go to the bottom of the tree there as well, somewhere around here. I just redarkened that because I had it all wrong. I want this tree kind of coming where it's supposed to be. Just filter them back from there, in front of there. Now we're going to grab this colour and simply generalise the reflection areas as well. So we're pretty much, where are we? We're going to, nice and straight, come from there. I'm getting this darker area around the edge of the reflection. And kind of moving it around in different areas there. Nicely pulled down, straight as possible. Something like that beyond the dark. Now I've put a pencil line here. I'll just, for those of you who can't see it, I'll just grab my knife and put some marks there, just so you can see how low I've come down from this stuff here. We're going to put in our lawn there so we can bring the trees on top of it. If we put the trees in first, it's hard to get them forwards and backwards from each other. Now for this colour, I'm just simply going to use cadmium yellow and mix in the green oxide. I want to get a beautiful yellowy lawn. Now that's too much green, I need more yellow. So I'll come in the middle first. Now the edge of the lawn is where that colour is. Now I do need a flat brush because that is not going to cut the mustard. Okay, because where it's up here, I want to control where it's meeting there. Some little bits might just fade up and down like that. Get this where I want it. And we're simply going to come to that area that I showed you with the knife. And just get some coming back in there like so. Back in there. Get rid of that hard line, I want it evaporating. Now stop, analyse it, work out how much brighter or darker you need that. I do want to put a highlight on that. That lighter colour I had, I'm going to, because I feel I want to dark a bit just on the top of it, so I'm going to pick up this colour here. So as where this yellow's meeting that undercolour, we can scrumble it together and get a little bit of it down on the yellow to create a little bit more darkness. Don't go too crazy into that other colour that's already up there. You're just kind of merging it like so, coming into there. It's just going to create the illusion of it coming at you instead of looking flat against your painting. Down. So we've got the yellow. I'll put a little bit of the green into it. And you simply just want to, I don't know, scurry some of this across the whole vibe of it, or just adding what you feel you need. It's your painting, you're the artist. Do what you feel it's going to need. Let them scrumble. And just at the very middle, at the front, I'm going to really put a bit of white with it just to glare it up a bit. That'll do. So grabbing that colour, I'll grab some of the white just to make it mint colour, more of a mint vibe. Just put my light meter down, because roughly in the centre here, I want to get a nice bright, just to bring your eye into the middle of the painting. It's always good to have the middle of your paintings on landscapes bright.
That'll do, don't overdo it.
Now before we go to our next section, I've just got some black in my script liner. Get your trunk, come right up. Now break it up through that green oxide colour there, if you're going to see some of it there, just like that. Get it fat, and then you'll simply come a little bit less as you go up. The bottom of the trunks are different levels, indicating forward and backwards from each other, and they're trees, so they're not set width, so they're just all different. Now simply replicate these down the bottom. I've grabbed my flat brush, I'm finding it easier. Coming from the top of that yellow there, starting from there, let's say with this one here, keeping it reasonably level. Like I said, it can be distorted. Got one there, one there, one there. Get it to the thickness. I've put the slightest white into that paint, that black, just to grey it. And just on the right side, I'm just scratching in. There's some brighter value there. Not too much, just a hint. But just these little hints make all the difference in your finished work. Getting the values and the reflections as well. I just got some of this Hooker's green and mixed it with that highlight there, just a bit. I've already done a few there. I'm just coming within the black of the trunk and just kind of getting some kind of shadow, sitting those main ones down onto the lawn there that you might see. It's just has its own shadow, sitting it down. Okay, I'm grabbing the cadmium yellow and the green oxide just to get a highlighted colour of the first colour we put there. And I'll work this way. So I want to get this tree now. This colour coming, dancing into that dark there. Now the first colours you might have saw distinct filbert brushes like that. With these ones now, as I put them on, I want to kind of give them a tear, just so as it's looking a bit more, I don't know, antsy-pantsy, and sink your trunks down, come in between here and there. I've done my first tree, now I'm doing my second one. I'm trying to get it a little bit different, scurrying from there. That's better. That one seems a bit, it's like you cook your first pancakes, always the messiest one, horriblest one. And you can see that stuff we put in there now, how it's taking effect, looking deep within the tree system there. Come beyond the dark colour, up into the sky there. Sitting that dark down. Let's get our reflections in now. Just finding them. Remember to leave that dark there. Get this right to the edge and drag it beyond. Little pockets of reflections there. It's not very wet, this paint. And this can just give you the illusion of quite nice looking reflections. Now this cadmium yellow we got here, I'm pulling that with some of that red gold, just to get some of this filtering over there. I'm just kind of hitting that edge where the lights, I feel I want being on it. Don't kill all that yellow green that we put on there. Over the sky. Creep it into the darkness a little bit. And of course, get those resembling in the water as well, just very gingerly. pull it down beyond the dark. Alright, grab your straight edge bullshit stick. I've mixed up some black and dioxazine purple. I want to come across just getting a tapered flat version covering up this here. So there, I'm going to come down, maybe down a bit there. Coming out to maybe, we can come all the way along. That can all be dark there. And what I want to do over here is start creating the tops now of these rocks, because I just want, over here will be smaller lumps and they can gradually come larger in size as we come to the left hand side, but having the bottom staggered looks like they're in and out of the water as well once we get going. Then from about here I just want to taper back now, making another row of rocks. Now these ones here, I've got the paint on my brush and I've rubbed it off a bit because I just want to, I don't know, gingerly pull down shadow, reflection. Now grabbing that mix, I've tinted it with some Prussian blue and I want to grab some white now and just gingerly get my highlighted colour on there. So I'll start from here. You want this nice and hairy. The top of the shadow, just create your rock. But just go to the waterline. Don't go all the way into your shadow, into that bit you pulled underneath. So we're just creating the top of our rocks. The first colour we put on has just added the shadow of them. So we're coming in front of what's behind. See how easy that is? This is a big one there. Get the very top half of it done. What I mean by that is, see this top line here? Don't have none of the darkness there. You want the light on that. There we go. And out here, it's just getting smaller and smaller within the deliberate brush strokes because they're smaller rocks. Now I've added more white to that mix and a little bit of dioxazine purple. Let's get some highlights on there. Cover the top bit that you missed out on the previous colour. They're rocks, they're scraggly, so you can get away with a lot. If you like what you see here, give me the thumbs up. Share this video to your social media so more people can see my content. Give me a comment, say hello, tell me who you are, and I'll say hello back. I've just added a little bit more white and just even less again, just putting some brighter bits here and there. And it really defines your stones. Grab yourself some white. I put a little bit of that Prussian blue into it, just so it's a bluey white, and get it very watery. Dry your work. And if you're working upright like me, grab yourself your stick and you just want to gingerly put the water around your rocks, but at the right height so the reflections are getting sunken down over our rocks. Because what's under there is what's under the water. And in adding a lot of water to your paint, it will make it dry. Reasonably see-through. I want a nice glare out here. And this stick's going to allow me to get them level. You're just sinking everything down. And what I will do, hopefully we can get a wind ripple. I like doing these. Just coming there, like so, and maybe another one from it over here. Now I'm just going to sign this and then we'll reveal it and whack a frame on it. And I want to thank everybody on my Patreon platform who support me every month. They get early access to my content. You want to be a patron, hit the Patreon link below. And I want to thank my YouTube channel members who support my YouTube channel every month as well. Thank you very much. Check out the community tab on my YouTube channel if you're a member to see what you're entitled to. Go, that's not too shabby. It's a beautiful wall hang of a tree reflective lake scene. Beautiful aspects going on there, and I know you can do it. Well, that was interesting, fun and exciting. I really did enjoy doing that piece. I hope you liked it, and if you did, you tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also, have a look at this other video of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.